Contracts being drawn when it's time to handle business, cause I ain't leaving shit to no handshakes.
Yo, welcome back to Just Kicking It. I go by Polo Show, and I'm with the homie
Soy.
And today we got a special guest.
Hello, my name's Maddie. I live in Calgary. I don't know what else to say. I'm
So before we get into it, this is Just Kicking It. We talk about everything hip hop happening in the world of hip hop every week. We are rappers first and foremost. So check us out on your preferred DSP. I go by Polo Show, and that gentleman there is Soy. Also check out our music collective, Lifted Ones. Also, if you are watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell. And if you're listening on a DSP like Spotify or Apple, give us that 5-star rating. You know, it goes a long way. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So first things first, in the global world of hip hop, the boy is back, Drizzy. Drizzy drops a 3-pack, Scary Hours 2.
Yeah.
I think the last Scary Hours was when he dropped Diplomatic Immunities and God's Plan.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a moment, you know. So like Scary Hours 2 was like, oh shit, is it gonna live up to that title? And we saw it had 3 tracks. So it was like, yeah, he's definitely trying to bring it. So all right. So what are your first impressions of the 3 tracks?
Okay. So I spent like a lot of time driving yesterday, and I had the 3-pack on repeat for like an hour at one point. And I still don't like the first song, to be honest. We had the pleasure of listening to Playboi Carti's new album, and I was not a fan. And the first track kind of sounded like a beat off of that album. So it was kind of weird to hear Drake in that space. I guess it was like super catchy, but like it just wasn't for me. But the other 2 tracks I think are like super great. I think Lil Baby actually had a better verse on the song than he had. What's it called? Wants and Needs. I think he had the best verse. He was just like, he had the same flow throughout, but I was just losing. Every time it comes on, I'm just like having the best time. And then obviously the Lemon Pepper freestyle was really sick. That one, at first I was like, oh, it's okay. Like it's nothing really special. But after I listened to it like a few times, I kept catching like new bars, specifically from Drake, because like Ross always delivers like a great verse, but like Drake actually like went for like 4 minutes, and like there's a few bars that I kept catching throughout. So yeah, I really like it. Don't really like the first track, but apparently that's going to be the hit song. So I'm probably wrong.
I definitely it's definitely pushed. It's a short song, you know. Definitely, it's like I feel like you're right. It definitely falls along the line of Playboi Carti music. Did you see that he dropped the video for that song?
Yeah, I saw the video too.
So yeah, he's definitely like. I can see that being the one people bump, and it will definitely go high. But I think this was just clever, you know, and it's just proof that in a time where, to me, like this whole release was about dropping that 3rd track, you know. But it was just like in the climate, you know, he just can't drop that track. You know what I mean? So Drake cleverly dropped, you know, a Lil Baby feature and, you know, a track that, you know, the masses want to hear, that track that we don't like, just so we could get to that track. So I think that's what that was. Just a strategic way, you know, to put out music. That's what we're going to get from Drake. Drake is not just the artist, Drake is the team. So yeah, I really like that about the release. I feel the same way though. I feel like What's Next is a very weak song. It just feels like, you know, just some stuff he put together. But I don't know. Like it does feel like there's an audience for it though. One thing I would say is they're all different tracks. You know what I mean? Like I would say that first one is the Lil Uzi Playboi Carti audience. The second one is the trap Atlanta audience that wants to hear a Lil Baby verse on everything. And then the last is, you know, like the rap shit, you know what I mean? I really enjoyed it. What I would feel like my only criticism is I feel like I'd heard that music from Drake before personally. I felt like that beat sounded like Gold Roses. Like it sounded like, you know, him and Ross.
That beat was nice though. I can't lie.
Okay,
No, I'm not hating. It was. But it just sounded like something I heard from him before. You know what I mean? It sounded like Do Not Disturb. That whole vibe.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So, but I'm not hating. That's a fire beat. I am rocking with it. And yeah, as for the bars, I definitely do appreciate the bars. I love his flow on it. I loved Ross's verse as well. Yeah, it's definitely a vibe.
Yep. And I would jump in, but to be honest, I haven't listened to it yet. So don't judge me. I'm like just like listening and like I'm like, okay, yeah. Shit, you know, like this is a really good start. Like really great.
No, it's all good.
It's like definitely interesting hearing your guys' like kind of take on it and like just kind of you guys what is the word? Like really good start. Sorry. It's just like interesting the way that you guys pick apart the song and like you like can I ask something about it? Like which like verses like really hit hard? Like just educate me on like which like verses you like to feel just like hit the hardest.
It was
go ahead.
Definitely the verse on what's the track? Lemon Pepper Freestyle. I think, right? That's what you're asking? Which verse?
Well, like can you tell like me the exact like bar? Like what the bar is saying? Sorry, it's morning. I need more coffee, man. Like
he had a bar about he said I ushered in this new generation. These are my confessions.
Okay.
There's like a lot of really slick bars that like the first time I listened to it, I was just like rocking with the beat and like the vibe of the song. And then those are the songs that I really love is the ones that you can keep going back to. It's like listening to like a Nas. Like when you listen to Nas, you're like, oh, this is fire. And then you go back and you're like, oh no, this is like super fire. And then you go back again. You're like, oh my gosh, how did I not? You know what I mean? So
those tiny things. Yeah.
He makes those songs for, I think, guys like us that are like wanting to freaking pick apart the bars and just appreciate it. But honestly, I think Lil Baby had like the standout performance. He was just like, that verse is just so fire. And like, I feel like I've heard that flow
before. That's just what he's been doing. Like, that's what he's doing the last year, man. That's Lil Baby's on his run. He's got a formula. He's not switching it up.
He does this thing. No, like I love a good like song like analysis. I do that with like other artists, so I just find that really interesting. That I don't know, I just find it really cool. It's like really cool to like pick apart songs like that.
It's cool
because like as you said, like you don't hear those things like right away, but then all of a sudden like it's like, oh, that's a reference to that. Oh my gosh, like, and that actually goes back to that. And like that is like the sign of like a true freaking artist is like when they're able to make those tiny kind of things. Not like a real artist, because like what is real art really? Like and like everyone's an artist. But like I think like that shows just such a intelligence and such like a natural intelligence to be able to use these like I don't know. It's just like a magical thing. I don't know if that makes sense, but and if it doesn't.
It's like, especially guys that are on that level, like the Drakes and the Kendricks and Coles and the M's, like every single bar has to mean something.
Right.
And so that's why you're always going to get like, when you get like a rap song from Drake, that's just all bars, you know, it's going to be fire throughout because he has such a big platform that he has to nail every single bar. Right. And so those guys, it is cool to like break that stuff down because those guys are they're masters of their class. Right. So it's it's very fun.
Yeah, it's a very fun activity for sure. Sorry, I got the giggles.
Yeah, definitely love the vibe, love the S. So people are saying that in Wants and Needs with the Lil Baby feature, at the end of Drake's verse, he says, The bar. What was the bar again?
Might have to link up with Yeezy. I've been needing some Jesus. But they won't believe in the confessions. They wouldn't believe us, something like that.
If I told him my confessions, they wouldn't. If I told him my confessions, he wouldn't believe me, or they wouldn't believe us. Something like that. So people were speculating, like, yo, if he was to say what it was, it would fuck up Kanye. So obviously, it's that he cheated and hooked up with Kim K. We were just like, yo, from here to just jump.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like it's like almost like I almost feel like it could be like revenge because of what Kanye did to his child, right? Yeah. And like told about his like son. So like it's like, you messed with like my baby, I guess I messed with your girl. But I also feel like maybe he's not so malicious, but maybe he is. I don't know. I think it's a very interesting thing. So do you guys think it's like true? I
don't know. Well, first of all, this was, I remember this was done before on an episode of Everyday Struggle. No. Yeah, like when Joe Budden was still on there, right? Where Academics was just like, I don't know why Kanye is so mad all the time. And he was the one that like basically started the speculation. Like I think like Drake might have like smashed like Kim K. And then Kim K literally had to like make a tweet or something, like make a public like saying acknowledgement and saying like, yo, that's not what happened. And we've moved from that, but and now we're here. So, well, first of all, do we think that this is what Drake, because I don't know, I feel like people are jumping to conclusions. Is this what the bar was intended to mean, or are people reaching?
I mean, he released the video and I feel like the timing was kind of interesting, and you know, his PR team, like PR, like you have to know timing, right? So like timing is so important. So either he could be just like playing off of the hype of it, which would actually be quite a good move, or it could be actually true, or it's like malicious. Like there's like a lot of things that point that it's probably a little bit intentional considering the timing. And
I forgot there was a divorce in play.
Yeah. That is a thing that's happening. You were saying.
Yeah.
So you think like Drake's team was like, all right, the divorce papers have been finalized. Time to put out the video.
I've been sitting on this bar for months.
That's just what I know about PR though, is that like timing is everything. And usually it's very intentional. Like you can't just like throw things out. Like he might have just been waiting because of the hype, as I said, because like they like just announced that they like were divorced. So maybe he's just trying to play off the hype, like every good musician does. Every good like musician, they play off that hype. But I don't know, Kanye kind of messed with his son. So, and you know, there's nothing like a father who's mad. So I don't know. Could be the thing.
That's just like, man, that situation. Well, again, Pusha is the culprit in the is the real reason for the beef with the son or whatever. But like I think he's like Drake said in an interview, like it's completely unforgivable, the situation with Pusha T. Like they're never gonna be dapping it up anytime soon, you know. So
no,
I don't know. I feel like he definitely, even though we know it's Pusha, he like in Drake's eyes, like Pusha and Kanye are one and the same, you know. Like as far as Drake is concerned, like. Kanye makes the track. Kanye was like, yo, uploaded it.
Well,
Kanye said he had nothing to do with it, but as far as he's concerned, like,
that's a lie.
No, because like I thought he definitely told Pusha T about that. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard, but then again, it's gossip, right?
Pusha said on Joe Budden that it was like 40s girl or something, right?
Oh,
yeah, Peloton.
Well,
he said it was just some chick.
Well, dang it.
Did you ever see that meme, bro? Of just like, it's basically the title is 40. It's an alien. Well, I should grab the image first. An alien that's like lying down, like high, you know.
Okay.
And you know, just to show like the alien is high, and it's lying down on a pillow, and it's like 40 talking to like the girl, just saying like, yo, girl, that sex was really good. Did you hear about Drake's son?
Well, it's fine.
How did that even? The whole purpose is like, how did that even come into conversation? Like, who's this random chick that you're like, oh, yeah, by the way, my boy is having.
Get on the way.
I was like, bro. What?
I feel like that's just like a cop out. Like, I'm sure. Oh my gosh. Like, stop blaming women for gossiping. Like, stop. Like, it's not cool.
So, what do you think, Soy? Do you think that the information came from Kanye?
Oh, like, damn.
Push is just elaborately just throwing it off. Because I watched that clip and I know, like, what was so funny was, like, when he was saying, like, no, I didn't get it from Kanye. I got it from this chick, you know, that 40 was seeing, you know. I know he's watching this clip right now and he's like, my fucking.
Yeah.
So,
like,
so the first, like, when he said that, he just knew, like. He knew what it was. Like, he was like, oh, shit, it was.
I'm pretty sure Drake confirmed that it was that situation in Laugh Now, Cry Later. I think he had a line in there about that where he basically confirmed that it was 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I learned something new today. I thought it was Kanye this whole time. So that's fine.
I still think he had something to do with it.
I still believe, regardless, I still believe that in Drake's head, Kanye is to blame. You know what I mean? Like, that whole Duppy freestyle was more targeted towards Kanye than it was towards Pusha, right? So
fair enough.
In his mind, it's still like Pusha was the foot soldier that pulled the trigger, but like Kanye was the guy, like the mastermind behind it. And so like, that's the beef. Here.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And he is kind of like, he is like a puppeteer at times. Like, he kind of creates situations like that have hurt other artists. So I wouldn't be surprised if he had a little bit of a hand in that, because that's just what sometimes he does that. Taylor Swift, cough, cough. He definitely did that to her. So I wouldn't be surprised. That's all.
So do we think that Drake is petty enough to be like, all right, you did all this shit to me. Now the whole world knows I have this son. I'm gonna sleep with Kim K.
I don't think it's that easy, dude.
Revenge sex is a thing. I mean, that is a thing. Like, people do that, but I don't know. Like, I don't see Drake being that petty. But do you know what? I wouldn't blame him at the same time, almost, because, you know, like, that's his son. I don't know. What?
That's pretty evil to do. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know if I believe in this sentiment from like
evil road you can take.
Yeah. I believe if it went down, it probably went down before this. Yeah, that would just be evil. but Kanye was in a pretty. I mean, Drake was in a pretty dark place after that, right? Like,
fair enough. Yeah, that's very.
Talk about mob ties and shit. Like,
he had said that he had a diss track ready, but he was like, if he had put that track, like just the stuff he was even saying on it, well, he just wasn't himself, you know. He would have just been like, you know. And I kind of see that in a way, like in hindsight. Definitely when it was happening, I was like, yo, Drake is losing this beef. Like, but in hindsight, Drake handled it very well. You know, Drake is still like, you know, if he had, there's nothing else he could have done, because it just what Pusha did with just the scathing diss that was story of added on with the cover art, with dissing 40, with just everything that it was. He just proved like, yo, I'm in the mud. Like, if we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight in the dirt. You know? So Drake, you have a choice to make. If you're gonna keep fighting, you have to come step down with me and fight in this mud. And Drake was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep this. And then afterwards he dropped Scorpion. You know, it's just been an upward trajectory since, you know. I feel like he made the right choice. He could have been on some rap shit and be like, no, I will drop this track. And yeah, it would have been a very different story right now. But yeah, so in hindsight, Drake did catch that L, but he caught it respectfully.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough, protecting his family too. So, and that's always important, because kids should actually never be brought into beef. I don't personally think. I don't think kids should, like, I think that's something that should be off limits.
All right, let's talk about this then. Let's have this conversation, because this is a conversation in hip hop. Did Pusha T cross the line? Was there a line that was crossed? Do you think so?
I would say so. I would 100% say so, for multiple reasons. Because at the end of the day, like, you got to protect kids, because especially like young kids, because you can't be like making these big decisions on them, and then like just leave them to face like the backlash of it. Because like I'm sure people went after his mom, and I'm sure that like people were doing some digging to figure out where he lives, because like that's like what people do because like they're crazy. So I feel that like you're putting a child in danger should not be used as a form of entertainment, if that makes sense, or like to make money off, because like that does feel a bit like you are like you're just taking advantage of a very sensitive situation. And no, I'm not for that. I'd like fuck that. I'm just not for that shit. Like protect the children, protect them.
I feel you.
What do you guys think though?
I just feel, I don't know. What do you think, Soy?
Sorry, I'm off.
I don't think it's off limits. I think, especially at this level, there's just so much at stake that like, I don't know. There's never been like, it used to be way worse. I'm pretty certain back in the day, like people were actually dying though, but like, I don't know. Beef is not how beef is now. Like beef now is like, you see like YouTube rappers beefing and they're doing like these weak ass bars to each other. And it's like, oh, but it's terrible. But like, it's not like, that's not real beef. Real beef is like, at least in the vein of hip hop, it's like there's actual issues. And like, if they see each other, they're going to like fight or like, or even worse. So it's not that in a perfect world, yes, we leave out the kids, but this is dark in hip hop. So that's how I see it.
I don't know. I feel like when you say, you know what my response is to you saying, yo, is it too far? Him putting the kid in the verse. I want to do one of those like one of those like I just can't do it. The Pusha ad lib. That's like that's my response to that. It's just basically no. This is a beef. You know what I mean? Like
really?
You don't get to enter like the octagon, and then you know once you get on the ground and I'm pounding you in the face, you're like, bro, come on, bro, no face,
no face.
Okay, but to be fair, that's bodily harm to yourself, not to someone else, right? Like someone should be a casualty, especially if like, they're like a baby. That's all. I like understand the beef, but like as someone like I guess maybe like my like maternal instinct, like I don't have kids by like the way, but like I would be wanting to do everything to protect my child, because people are crazy. People will find you, like they will literally find you, and I don't know. People are crazy, but I also get what you guys are like saying too. Like maybe he didn't cross the line. Maybe I'm just very, very sensitive.
I felt like it was the move because it was strategic, because clearly when you look at it in hindsight, he was baited with infrared, which is so clever that it was called infrared. And then he took the bait and dropped Duppy, and then he got the kill shot with Story of Adidon. And it would have been crazy if he got, you know, like Pusha even said on the record, like, I got more, you know, it was like, yo, this is just Surgical Summer, like Volume 1. And so it could have just kept going. But I just feel like it had to be the way it was, because I don't know, on some rap shit, like Drake had said it as well, like on some rap shit, it wasn't that, you know, Pusha out-rapped him, you know, that wasn't the case. Is that he had this information, you know what I mean? Like, this is the superstar rapper, this is number one dude in the rap game, and now I have this information that's a chink in his armor. You know what I mean? If I can elaborately use this, and that's what we have to give him props for. It's not like he just like tweeted it one day, you know, that would have had the same damage. Not really. The way the rollout was just so theatrical, you know what I mean? Like the cover art for Story of Adidon, like he had that in the tuck, you know, with that. Yeah. Nah, you gotta give props to Pusha. We all hate it. I'm still a Drake fan. I hate that moment just as much as he does, but like we gotta be like, nah, you gotta top your hat to the other guy, you know.
Fair enough.
You were in war and you lost.
Yeah. It's fine. Agree to disagree on like this one, but that's okay too. Because you know, but protect the children.
And at the time, I would say this as well. At the time, it wasn't confirmed that the child was his, right?
Right. Fair enough.
Like he's still, like he said it
That was a long
on
time
March
ago.
14th on his album. He was like, I didn't know yet, right? Like he was still waiting around that time. Like he was still trying to get the results and whatnot. So here, Pusha is like, yo, you're trying to hide your son. Like, I'm not even confirmed this is my son.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I have a son.
Oh shit! Like, oh, fair enough.
but yeah, I don't know. This is definitely a gray area. We could talk about this forever. But
Yeah.
Right? We could yeah, exactly. But we probably shouldn't.
So one more addition to this, and you know a little bit more about this, involving Lil Yachty eating some lemon peppers.
Yes. Okay. So this is like a really exciting story for like anyone that has eaten anything and then just like opens up your world. So basically, he tried lemon pepper wings for like the very first time, and I guess Rick Ross made a like reaction video to it, which is like also amazing because like reaction videos are like my shit. And I don't know, like I just think that either once again that's like a really good like marketing ploy, or like he like sincerely just like had his mind blown by a wing. Like I don't know, like have you guys ever like had a food that has just like, holy crap, like my world is open?
Yeah.
You're like, yes.
It happened yesterday, actually.
Oh!
Yeah.
What'd you have?
My buddy came over, Bryson, and he brought some weed, and then he's like, yo, I'm going to go to Popeyes, and I'm going to get the Popeyes chicken sandwich. And I haven't had it yet. And we got pretty stoned, and we were watching, like, what were we watching? We were watching some movie. Oh, we were watching I Love You, Man. And then we were having the chicken sandwiches, and they were just like, they were so good. But my cats were like, they were just like all over it. Like it was very frustrating. But yeah, that happened yesterday. It was actually delicious.
Yeah. Was it like a moment?
It's something I'll probably get every time I go there now. Yeah, I was pretty happy. I was very satisfied.
What about you?
Man, what did
It's
I
like the
have?
random ass question.
What did I have recently that was fire? I don't know. I can't think.
That's okay.
Probably like a smoothie.
Okay. It's like,
What?
This is a weird ass question. Yeah, for me it was like ceviche. Like I had like no idea first of all that you like could cook like food with just like citrus. So that blew my mind. Like I just like did not know that. And then B, like it tastes so good. Like have you guys been to Shakalaka yet? Have you guys been there yet?
No.
Honestly, no. Okay, well you guys should go because like the flavors are amazing. So, and that is where I like had it for the first time, and my world was like, holy crap. But anyways, let's move on to a different question.
I'm sorry, so what is it? It's like
Shakalaka? Oh yeah, so basically ceviche, it's like basically you take some type of like either a fish or a basically any type of seafood, and then like they either use like lime or other types of like citrus to like cook it, and I guess that actually cooks the food. And I had no idea, but it is delicious. And it's like usually served with like onions and like, let's see, what else is in it? Like, usually you like have it on like a potato chip or like some type of chip. So you guys have to try this. Like this like opened my world. Like let's go get some ceviche like right now. Just kidding.
So like, where's the place that has it?
Shakalaka. Well, like a bunch of like other restaurants have it, but that is where I like had it. It is that new. It's like brand new. DJ
Newboy?
Sorry. Yeah, that's his. That's like his spot now, and it just opened like at the beginning, I think, of last month. So, yeah, you guys gotta try it. It's very delicious. get that ceviche.
What's the situation there? Are they allowed to like have music performances there?
I actually don't know about that yet. I don't think so, but I also don't know. So
cool. Yeah. On to our next topic here. Eminem. I don't actually know the situation. So Eminem responds to TikTokers or?
Yeah, they tried to cancel him for something. I can't really remember what it was, but he like released the like visual for like the song Tone Deaf. And Sawyer, you like to know more about that part, right? Like the
So basically, he has like a really solid fan base, the Stans, and they run like I'll have like recommendations a lot of like the Stans. They have like their own news networks for him, and he doesn't even pay them or anything. These are just like loyal fans.
Oh yeah.
And so one of these fans put together when Godzilla came out, put together this video of like an image was associated with every single word that he said in the song. So like when he's going really fast, it's just like going like crazy. But then he put together this video for Tone Deaf after the cancellation, because I don't know how you're going to cancel Eminem. He's literally just been controversial his entire career. So, but yeah. And then this guy put together the video, and it's actually really, really cool. And I don't know how he did it, because it's like really like, it looks like really professional. So he put a lot of time into it. It's like, are you getting money, dude? Like, that's a lot of time.
Yeah, because like when I saw, like I was like, this is like a Grand Theft Auto type, but like a vintage, and like that's really neat. Yeah, and like to find out that like that was done by just like a fan, I'm like, yo, like that guy's gonna get so many calls from like artists. Like honestly, like I would love a music video like that. Like that'd be so dope. So expensive, but still, that guy's probably gonna get some calls. I would say so. So that's actually really helpful. So
yeah, it's really dope. So on to our next topic here. 6ix9ine. Again, I'm not. What is the situation with this? 6ix9ine. He
got like a water gun necklace chain. It cost $1 million. But there's like but like it's so cool. Like it's so like it just like says like water and then like squirts water. Not sure why it was $1 million, but basically the controversy though is like apparently he hasn't paid his security team or like his like legal team, but he's like dropping like $1 million on like this like squirt gun necklace, and it's just interesting because like considering like all that he's like been through over the last like while, like those are the people you probably need to keep happy, right? Yeah. Because literally, so I don't really know what's going on with that. But there's like a video, and the video's kind of like it's like him with like a bunch of girls, and then the girl's like pouring vodka in his mouth, and then he's like squirting his water gun necklace, and it's like. It's interesting. It's very like I actually probably like I like to see if I can find a picture because like
water gun necklace.
Yeah, like, no, like that's like literally what it is. Like, hold on.
How does that work?
I'll show you $1 million worth. I guess water gun. Hold on, 6ix9ine water gun necklace. Oh no, there's a picture. Oh wait, no. This is gonna bother me. Sorry. Nope, I can't find it. Just like Google it. Have a good little laugh because
I'm gonna look it up real quick. I need to see.
Yeah, I feel like 6ix9ine.
It's pretty funny.
I feel like 6ix9ine's whole gimmick now is just trolling, right? Like that's just like he knows now that he is like a pariah in like hip hop. Like we don't fuck with him. It's not cool to fuck with 6ix9ine. And so the only way for him to make headlines is if he's doing something that's so out there that's like. We got to talk about it, you know? So like, this is just another example of that. And, you know, we saw in previous weeks, he's been like taunting like dead rappers, you know, taunting them to like their homies and their gangs and like, just doing a lot of fucked up shit, you know, like his baby mama had to like come out and say like, yo, their daughter and her are getting like death threats.
Boys,
just because of his shenanigans.
Right.
But yeah, I think, I just feel like, man, he's a career troll. He's not a rapper. Like that's what he's doing.
Fair.
Just career trolling, and this is, you know, it's just like being a stuntman for a living. You know, you just there'll be nights where you know, some nights it gets really close. You know.
Yeah. No, fair enough. But you could definitely tell like he's going through some dark stuff, even in that video. Like just like, you know, with like addiction and stuff. Like you definitely tell that he has some substance issues, which is really too bad. And like I do feel sad in that aspect. But yeah, he is kind of a ridiculous troll. Like he is a troll. That's
I think
like
he should have stayed in prison, man. Like this is, I don't know. I thought he was on parole or something. Isn't someone watching him?
Oh,
isn't someone watching him? Like, yo, he's not been cool.
this is not what you're supposed to be doing, man. Yeah, fair enough. I didn't even think about that. Like,
the parole officer definitely got a bag. That's what happened. He's like, yo, just look away.
Yeah. just like pull the blanket over. It's fine.
Because that incident with Meek Mill alone the other week would be like enticing, right? Like that's what that was. Like he went out there with his phone in his hand, like trying to entice him just so he could get the phone for his video.
Right. All the clout, guys.
But yeah, man. Fuck 6ix9ine, man. This is what he does, man. This is what he does to get into the headlines. Just some more fuck shit.
He needs to pay his security. He's gonna die.
Right. And like legal team. Like, man, like you like those are the people you like need on your. I mean, but the necklace is pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. Like I really like it. I
don't know if it's worth his life.
You know what? You're not wrong, but fair enough.
On to our next topic here. Bruno Mars, Leave the Door Open. With his new band, apparently. Let's see. So is Anderson .Paak